Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would do an unusual video, and it sounds kind of strange, but it was in a request as well to build at a 45-degree angle and kind of show how it's done. Now, a lot of you are probably just thinking, 45-degree angle, yeah, we all do that. It's common blocks in the game to do things at like a 45-degree angle, but basically the idea here is to build an entire structure with a base at a 45-degree angle, which can create some unusual looking block work, like what you see in this test example I did some time ago. It was just basically an idea I had to experiment with what could be done at a 45-degree angle. How would it look? Pros, cons, all that kind of stuff. So it actually came out kind of interesting in a lot of areas. If you take a look at this and you assume we are looking at the front of it, because it's generally a square. The top kind of gives it away a little bit, but the whole thing is at a 45-degree angle, where this is actually the front of the creation over here and not on the sides. But if you do it long enough and big enough like this, it actually kind of will deceive people, especially if you don't have like this top structure, which you can obviously tell it's rotated differently than what the bottom part of the structure is. So I thought I would attempt to do a video on explaining how this was done, and it's not too difficult really. It's just a little bit different thinking on this. So let me start something over here a minute. Let me slap down a base starter block here. And the general concept here is, well, here, I also have SI off right now, so nothing will collapse. I don't think it would necessarily in creative anyway. But, okay, so let's start something here. Let's just start with the one beam here, and I want to put in like a baseline going on at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to pick the very simple 45-degree block. We're just going to kind of run this a ways going down one side of it here. So I want it big enough to where it's convincing that you're looking at the front of the creation and not a side of the creation. So if it's too short, it kind of loses its illusion, I guess you could say. So let's just do something like that. I'll get rid of these blocks back here for now. Now, at a 45-degree angle, you have a lot of different options in blocks. You can do some things that will round it off, and I'll do some of that on the top here. So I'm going to go into this angle wedge set over here to start with. Don't have to use this one. There's other ones that could be used as well, but let's start here. And I'll just get a row of these going on here. And eventually I'll be cutting into this and making some changes as well. I don't have anything in particular that I'm trying to build with this video, just kind of another test example, but who knows, you know, maybe if it ends up being something interesting, I'll pursue it and try to make it into something. But right now this is just kind of playing around here. Okay, so now we got a 45-degree angle. We have a slight wedge on the top. Let's make that wedge bigger. Unfortunately, we're missing some blocks. If I wanted to round this off at this point, like say I wanted to bevel this in, I could put in these blocks, but then we have a bit of a breakdown doing this angle over here. Well, actually not really. That does work, doesn't it? Yeah, never mind. I'm wrong on that. So let's try some of these blocks across the top here. And my objective here is to make kind of a slopey area that kind of folds in a little bit here, and then get some windows and some other features on here to try to sell it as a you know, a structure built at a 45-degree. So obviously some of the blocks I'm picking here, a lot of these will fit together at a 45-degree angle, which is kind of neat. It allows you to do some quite a bit of curving actually at this this angle here, and we could actually follow this through with this other wedge set over here at this point in time, which is going to keep that angle running the same direction as what was on the previous row there, which is kind of neat. Kind of fold stuff around. We can pop in some of these as well going here. So far pretty straightforward, but there's just a number of different blocks you can use for this kind of thing. to create some nice looking curves at a 45-degree angle. And we'll work on the bottom side here in a second as well. Just kind of wanted to go over like some of the main things on it. Okay, so now we've got that structure. Let me use a little bit different angle blocks on the bottom here. And yeah, I have also, I appreciate a while back, someone gave me a heads up that I could hold down control and then right click and grab the block that's already there. I do use that occasionally, not all the time, because sometimes I find it just quicker to go in here and select another block still. It's basically the amount of time it takes to get to the block you want. Sometimes looking around for the block I want can take longer than going into the menu to grab it as well. So I do use it sometimes, and then other times I don't. And it all depends. Like right now I'm not really using it. Let me get my light on here too. So at the bottom angle, I'm just kind of running this with the same wedge set a second row, where the top one got altered a little bit. And I don't exactly know how this is going to come out. I really don't have a lot of ideas about it. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the main hull things, and then different things you can do by cutting into it. And basically, again, trying to do an illusion like this is the front of the base rather than that is the front of the base. Okay, so now we got this roundy 45-degree angle. Obviously, you can do quite a few turns and rotations, and we could actually back this bottom up with another block here too. We can go into this this 45 or corner half A3 there to wrap this around here. So now you can see that the angle on the bottom is actually, or the curve at the bottom here is different than that of the top. And then we can pop in its alternative here. Basically this block here. Just get those on the bottom there. There, now we got this big roundy 45-degree slanted thing. Okay, so this is kind of the fun part here. So now it's kind of like this this base piece here. So let's play around with it a little bit. Let's start. Let's see. I think we have a center point. Do we have a center point? The center point might be 2 blocks right now. I think it is. Yeah. Well, let's cut in a little bit over here, and then we could change this around a little bit here. And if we put in, let's try some of these blocks for the heck of it here. Let's say we put in one of these over on this side. We'll flip that around like that there. And we got a little cutout at a 45-degree angle. Let me just put in some full blocks here to support that. And from this point, we could actually, if we wanted to, we could put in some other features like some 45-degree glass. If we wanted. Oops. Whoa. Alright, it keeps making my thing disappear. There we go. Alright, so now we've got 45-degree windows too. Let me get the little piece in there. Make that work out a little bit better. The edges aren't really lining up with the blocks I used here. Maybe I should go with that instead, I think would be a better idea. Alright, so far everything at a 45-degree angle. So what else can we do with at a 45? Let's play with some of these blocks. Some more blocks here. Let's say we take out the 2, about 2 on each side. And let's put in a wedge block or something similar. The one with the lip though. Let's just get a couple of these in there. Kind of break that up a little bit in the center. Actually, I'm gonna run that one more block over here for the heck of it, and then we can actually pop in these little things there to fill in those gaps. All right, so now, what other neat things could we do at a 45? Let's say we get rid of a couple of these over here, and maybe these top ones for the heck of it. Oops. And let's upscale it to a one larger wedge block than what was there. Like let's take this whole row here, and replace that with one that sticks out a little bit more. That'll kind of form kind of a little lip that sticks out there. Like that. And we can also fix that back up if we wanted to, but wanted to try to do some more neat things here. I just got to figure out exactly how I want to go about this. Let's do something on the bottom here too. Let's also upscale these to one block bigger. Again at the 45. But basically, the whole point of this is you could create a pretty solid structure, I think, completely at a 45-degree angle. I don't know how that would work, you know, for ships and stuff like that. You can't obviously rotate thrusters at a 45-degree angle, but for like a base or elements of a ship, you could theoretically kind of do this. Now, I've messed with this a little bit on some creations that I made, a little bit of 45-degree stuff, but not too much. Probably one of the biggest things that had elements of 45-degree angles in it that I built in the past, that's on the workshop at least, is probably the Solaris station. That one, there's quite a few angles on it doing that kind of thing. Here, I'm going to fill in these blocks with full blocks here. And so, okay, so now we got this edge. Let's take these out and put in its other block. It's a slightly larger version as well over here. And let me get that. Okay, that, you see, it's starting to create a bit of an illusion. Again, if you're looking at the very front of this, if I don't give you any reason to doubt this is the front, then it might actually, you might think it's the front, and that would be kind of neat. Fill those in. So now we got this weird structure here, which is kind of fun, but let's try to do more with it here. Let me get over to the edges. Let me, that core is right in the way. Let me grab another core, stick it somewhere else here. Put it back here. Alright, so let's try to come out from this. Hard to explain that, but let's first back up the sides here with something as reference. Like that. Let's dig in here and try to make this look like it's kind of standing up on its end. So we got an angle there. Actually, I should put that back. That was, what block? That was one of those. See, in this case, it would probably have been quicker if I would have used the other key to just grab that block. Like, I could grab any one of these blocks. Like, I just changed my cursor to that one or this one. Sometimes that's quicker. Sometimes it's a little hard to identify. And I guess I've been in the menu so much over time that it, yeah, I can get usually to the block I want pretty quickly that way as well. Okay, build that up a little bit on this side. And what I'm trying to make this look like is, I don't know exactly yet. I'm trying to figure this out here. Let's take out those blocks on either side. And I wanted to make this kind of look like a foot or something coming down. Now, of course, we can always expand this out to the other direction. So I could pop in something like this here. And kind of basically alter our design here. Trying to make it look like it has some feet here or something like that. Either side. We'll tuck this part back in underneath it. Let's just use that and have it so that other part sticks out. Alright, well, we're still at a 45. I want to definitely do something more interesting on the top section here. So let's find some other blocks. Put in here. Say we take some of these and throw them out and replace them with a different one. And let's do the same here. What should I put in here? Sometimes there's some unusual blocks that can kind of work out and make some interesting patterns, like altering, like technically if I wanted this totally smooth, I'd put in this block here, but I'm going to try putting in a step up to see what that pattern's going to look like, and obviously make kind of a this unusual looking kind of support there or something. Let's go up one more block on the top side with that. Again, you know, a practical use of this method is, you know, it's hard to say. I'd say it'd be best used on like a, I don't know, I guess a player base or a POI or a base in general, basically. As in ships, it would be kind of strange, especially because your thrusters and all that kind of stuff would just totally not align to this. But what I'm trying to do is make all this kind of fit and work together here. We could put in some non-45 degree blocks to kind of bring this out a little bit as well. Like say, yeah, let's try this. Let's try putting in one of those there and the bigger one down below, and then we'll fix that down below block up. Oops, get a little carried away with the removing blocks here now and then. Okay, so we got those in place. Let's get rid of that, and let's swap this out to, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, let's just follow that same angle down another notch. And let's try to make the block below here work, which I think it can if I go to this scale up here. It's a little hard. I mean, it's really hard to explain what I'm trying to do here, but hopefully you can kind of see what's happening, that we're doing design work at a 45 degree angle. And that's basically what the whole video is about. It's just one of these options that you've got in the game. If you play around, do a little this kind of thing, you can come up with all kinds of interesting patterns and things that would really throw people off if they're looking at it like that doesn't look right kind of thing, if you can sell the illusion. The only way you're going to sell the illusion, though, is do it enough where the whole structure appears at 45 degree angle. So let's say we did that. I'm just curious what would happen if I try to put in that or something like that right there. That'd be kind of weird. Let's try it, though. It's all about experimenting with blocks. So, and let's get in its counterpart here. I think a lot of these are, yeah, these are all buried now in the back. Okay, so let's fix up the corners here. Well, I don't know. That's just some unusual looking stuff there. I think actually this would look better if that was gone. Right there. And who knows what kind of combinations of blocks you could come up with here. Like everything else, you know, bazillions, infinite patterns basically. But that's different. Okay, so now what I want to do, I got this pattern going across the top here, but I kind of like the idea of this kind of looks more like a frame piece over here, which I like, but then all this kind of throws that off like it's, well, again, some kind of pattern. Let me grab some more blocks here. So I'm going to get rid of some of these. How about those? And then we will just put this back in so it is again smooth. Which way am I rotating? There we are. Across the middle section. And let's see what we got going on top here. I guess let's just put in straight up 45s here. There. Now we kind of look like we have a bit of an angled beam coming up this way, which is kind of neat. I don't like what's happening at the top though, so let's fix that up, and we'll put in non-45 degree blocks here to kind of even that up on the top side. This won't work in symmetry. Well, it would if I had a right and left over there, but just on this particular face here would not work in symmetry. Get rid of that one. Alright, different pattern there again. So what else could we do to this? I wanted to keep on running with it and try different block combinations moving upward here. Let's say we get rid of this block and probably the blocks behind it as well, and build this up. Wonder if that should match the angle there or not. Let me at least mimic it over here. And let's see what we can do with this section. Not sure what to do with this section, that's the problem. Alright. A little experimental again. Actually, you know what? I don't really like the changes I just made there. Let me get rid of the last few changes I made. Great thing about the undo and redo button. Big time saver there. Something's wrong between these two sides, so, and I think it might just be that I got solid blocks going that way on the other side. Alright. Well, anyway, that is kind of what I was trying to show. Now, I did on the previous base over here, I did a little bit of a different pattern in the center, and I do kind of want to try that out again. I liked how that came out. So let's find area there, and I think I know what I got going on there now. Again, let's go up to like another whole level up here. Like there's going to be a top part of this base that sticks over the edge. We put in some other blocks here, more 45s. Keep that illusion going. And okay, so now we've got a centered area here, and what I'm going to try to do is use some non-45s and angle this up on two sides. But I think what I'm going to have to do to pull that off is say we do this here. Let me go to the same block I had below. One of those on that side. These on this side. Let's get rid of these in the middle. All that off there. And getting in some of these. And its counterpart. It's not quite the same as what was happening over there, is it? It's tricky. It's like, yeah, I like this pattern. I'm trying to remember exactly what I did to make it. Okay, so I got, oh, okay, so those come down to a point. I see. So nothing here is really lining up that well right now, but okay, so we're dealing with that piece. This isn't going to work out too well, but kind of. Oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't use that particular block here. I tell you what, let's get rid of that. We'll put in a square one here, like that, and then the one inside there. let's try to make this work on the bottom here too. So what if you came down to a square and this part stayed going upward like that. There's just so many different possible combinations you could do. Takes a lot of trial and error, you know, just kind of playing around with things, seeing how it's going to work out. That's what took place on that other build over there too. It was just a lot of this. Like, I started building at a 45 and then tried figuring out, you know, what I could do with that, how it was going to turn out, and swapped out a lot of blocks like I am here. There's another blocks, there's this one as well, which is a really cool block. You can use at a 45 like that. And actually, let's put that in there too. And yeah, so very odd combination of stuff going on here. Let's put in another alternative 45 block, which is almost like the one I just used there, but this one's got kind of an edge on it. So say we smear that over the top side of this, and we'll put in little corner pieces here. A couple of those. There, now we got a top structure there. So not the same thing I built over there, but similar ideas. This one does have, again, these angled windows. That's something I want to get in here, is some glass. So how about, rather than this in the middle here, we actually go over to some, I think I have to use the old school glass for this because don't have the right angles on the fancier glass. But there's these corners here like that, which are pretty cool. Let me try to rotate this around the right way on how this is going to fit in here. Ooh, it's going to have to go back further than I wanted it to. That ain't going to work. Ah, there we are. Oops. Then it disappears. Yeah, some of these editor blocks would be really nice if they were fixed. Disappearing window block things, or other parts too. Been ongoing for a while. Okay, so, and I'm gonna swap this middle piece out with a different block again. Something that lines up to these bigger ones. Let's try one of these squared off corner pieces here. No, never mind. That's not gonna work. Never mind. What block would work here, actually? How about just a, I don't know, straight up 45, I guess. Oh, I swapped materials there. There we go. And we can even put in some other little 45 thin pieces on the edge. And, oh yeah, I guess the glass is there. I gotta rotate the edges on some of these here. Alright, now we got that. So, again, here, tell you what we're going to do now. I'm going to get rid of the corners. We're going to do a little copying and pasting. Okay, so we kind of got a structure. Let me build this in just a little bit more before I do that last part, though. Just give it a bit of a roof and have this come out to the edges here. So I kind of wanted to keep, well, let's just square that off for now. Get rid of the illusion a little bit on the sides here. How about like some of those? that. Yeah, we'll just give it some kind of square ceiling here, I guess. Just for the test here. Okay, so now we have a whole piece built at a 45. The great thing about that is now we can go over to here and let's copy this whole thing here. Got to be pretty precise with my copy box here, though. At least on the sides. All right, so that works. So we'll just do a copy, paste, and I'll do some rotating here. Put another piece there. And we'll copy and paste that again, rotate it again. Oops, I did something wrong there. Yeah, I definitely did. Oh. Let's go down. I hit the wrong button there. All right. Well, I kind of rotated it that way. That's interesting now, isn't it? Yeah, sometimes, you know, errors lead to new things too. Like I just rotate it like that, and that could be kind of cool if it was like there was a chunk like rotated like that. I'll fix it though for the test here. I just got to figure out what I did. I think I totally hit the wrong button back there. I think we're still. Oh, it's hard to see. Come on. Okay, so we got to rotate it around that way. Okay, there we go. About time. All that because I thought I hit rotate one direction and I ended up going a different way with it. So we want that, and we'll get that in there. Sorry that took so long. Okay, we're lined up there. It all looks good. Was it? Did I screw that up? No, I think it's right. Okay. And one more copy and paste. I don't think I needed to hit the copy again. It was already there, but I guess for some paranoid reason I do it anyway. And put that one in place. There. Look at that. We've got a 45-degree build. Hey, weird building thing. So from here, you know, I'd probably swap out some more blocks and things like this edge over here. Now I could actually probably turn on symmetry at this point as well. And now that we're looking at this from the front, nope. Let's go that way with it for here. I think that's lined up. Going down the center. Cool. And then we'll just try to balance this out, put a little trim things around the corners here. I'm going to swap out those blocks to make the this other 45 that sticks out a little bit more around the edges, and we'll fill that in with some of that. And now you got a nice kind of a smoother transition here. Could actually put them right on the edges there to square that off in the corners. That'll a nice little illusion. I probably should do the same over on the what did that actually do there? Okay, so that only did the one side I was working on. Man, this might be a good place actually for four-way symmetry. Something I almost never use, but in this case, it could be a thing. But I just got to be able to set that symmetry line correctly somehow here. What if it was here? No, that shifted the one off. I think I got to be right in the dead center here. There. Okay, so now we got four-way symmetry on. So let's fix these other corners up as well. Just trying to make it quicker without copying it all over again. Probably should have adjusted that before that, or fixed the corner before moving forward there, but it's alright. Never know what you're going to come up with. Alright, so here this is kind of wonky in this section here too. I never did fix the actual block that was back there. So putting in like square blocks in some of these corners will certainly help out as well. Just curious if that is actually working on all four sides now. It looks like it did. Good. One more corner here. And it's a little squirrely what's taking place down there. I kind of actually want that edge to be similar to the edge below it. But anyway, at the end of the day, I think you get the idea here. Let me just do my thing. I usually will mass fill this in with solid there. Make sure everything's all painted up there. And now, not quite as complex as the one I did over here, which I spent a lot more time on. But the same idea. The whole structure is at a 45-degree angle, and it just can create some interesting looking block work. I don't particularly like the block work I've got in a lot of places here. We need a lot more tweaking, but that is the general idea of it. So someone was asking about this, and I thought it was fun when I did this experiment here too. Again, it took way longer than what I spent in this video, but the same general idea of what happened here is what happened over there. I just tweaked it more and smoothed it out more and stuff like that. But it's kind of cool. A weird 45-degree building here. And of course, copying and pasting can do some wonderful things too. Let me just grab a chunk of this building and we'll copy it around a bit here, and then see what that turns out to look like. A lot of trial and error, a lot of fun just kind of messing with blocks. At least me, I'm kind of a person that likes this kind of thing anyway, just experimenting. That's why I always look forward to new blocks and things like that, to try to figure out what you can do with them, which I think is a really neat thing. What I'm going to do here, so I think I've got a nice, I think all the edges are right. Let's raise this, let's take this part down a little bit here, right to the base. Let's try that, and then we'll do a copy. Let's paste that, and then let's flip it upside down for the heck of it. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, isn't it? I'll just leave it. Oh, maybe the flipping upside down thing wasn't the hot ticket. I don't know. I could build up some new corners there. Why not? Let's paste that in, and just the final part here. We'll try to join this to that. Is the last part here, and I'll try to do it in four-way symmetry this time. So first, hopefully I didn't. I'm centered there. Obviously, I got 4 cores in the build right now too. That's a big no-no. So that would probably be needed to be changed there for sure. All right. So tricky part here: how to make this mesh with the rest of the base. Like this part isn't just a copy, and it's actually a little bit more than that kind of thing. I don't know if I'll be able to sell that illusion though. Let's just put a row of these guys under here. I'm gonna do a different block with the side pieces there, and oh, this would be weird, wouldn't it? It's not the right block though. Let's just keep it smooth. And little corner pieces. Whoops. Kind of a tricky thing here. I'm going to just kind of line this up for now. See where that comes out, and then try to figure out how to alter this other part here to make it maybe look like there's a support or something coming down into here. That'd be kind of fun. Here, tell you what, how about instead of that, let's go in and, nah, let's angle it too. Must be really tricky. Get herself into a block nightmare. That happens too, by the way. Doing some of this stuff, you could get into these situations where it's like, don't know what I'm doing. Well, it's always fun. It's good practice, trial and error, experimentation kind of thing. Seeing how it comes out. And it can be useful. Again, it's just nice to have it in your, knowing how to do this in your like mental building set, I guess you could say. Always gives you the option, you know, not that you got to use this, but it gives you the option to do this kind of thing on real builds, or just something that, you know, if you're working on a ship or a base or some creation and you're not exactly sure what you want to do with it. This is just, you know, just expand your block vocabulary, building method styles a little bit more. See what you can come up with doing these kinds of things. This is kind of odd what I got going on here. I can't say I'm liking it, but again, not sure exactly what I'm trying to accomplish in the first place. But yeah, well, actually, I was trying to tie this part into this bottom part. That was the deal. Another kind of block exercise. Tying things in can be some of the harder things to do in Empyrion for sure. And let's see. So we got some very strange blocks here. Doesn't actually work out too well with the window. Let's see what happens if we stick in one of these. That's weird. I kind of like that though. Yeah, that's a straight up unusual looking shape there. That's kind of what it's about, is really coming up with some pretty unusual shapes as well. Just trying to see what you can do here. So I'm kind of looking at this, and I kind of want to keep part of this, but what I guess I don't like is the angle here, because we got a 22.5 and then a 45 here. Can that be fixed? I think it can. Just got to figure out the right. Oh wait, no. Whatever I do, it has to be upside down here. Oh, that creates a different. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay. I thought it would have been the right block though. Maybe I. Oh, come on. Maybe this way. No, that's wrong too. Huh. How about one of these? Nope. Well, no. That's a weird thing. Yeah, how do you make that work? It's probably simpler than I'm thinking it is, but I'm screwing it up. So we want the inverted angle. Ah, we're getting there. Okay, so what if we tone that down one block? That's what I had before, but it doesn't line up to the window's edge. But it does make that line up correctly, but not with that, not with the glass. At least that glass. But that's kind of neat. That kind of inverted angle there. Let's see here. I'll tell you what, we got windows down. Oh, this was down below. Whoops. Here, we'll keep the windows again. Let me put them back. Yeah, there's no practical solution, I don't think, here with these angled windows on the top. Because of that block, because I was trying to match that angle there. Well, anyway, I don't want to copy it all around again, but you got, yeah, so basically kind of join the two together. Again, everything here is kind of wonky. Certainly not something that would be like jumping up and down to get out to the workshop or anything like that. But you get the general idea of it. And this is a tricky video to do, and I was trying to think on how could I even show this. I just think it's kind of neat too. It's kind of a fun building style, and it doesn't have to be like the whole structure either. Like I could have this and say here, let me just plan out, like say we had another part of the building that was actually square that came out like over this direction or something like that. So I got the four-way symmetry on, but so then you could have this whole chunk at one angle, and this whole chunk could be square. You could repeat the other thing on the other side, and you kind of create something like you would see with a lot of, well, I'll just use an example, Las Vegas hotels. A lot of them are kind of, they have an angle on this side, they're kind of square in the center, and then they angle out again, or at least several of their big hotels there on the Strip in Las Vegas operate that way, like the Mirage and others, several others actually. So that's a possibility too, but it's just selling the illusion, doing enough 45-degree angle in the area, trying to be fancy and tricky with the blocks, and you can create some interesting patterns. Again, I like what I did here a whole lot better with this block seams here. It just kind of, it's an illusion. It looks really strange. Yeah, it's a fun method. So it's something I wanted to do a video to kind of actually a long time ago, but I really had no idea how to show you this very well. And I'm hoping this example worked. I didn't go over like saying every block I use, because there's, again, tons of combinations of blocks you could do with this. But basically what you can do is you can do nice smooth curves, actually pretty in-depth curves. I could wrap this actually all the way around and up on the top side, kind of like what was done over here. I did similar on this one where it's got like a different angle on the bottom. Now, I played around with some of the blocks in the middle here to create this effect here, which I kind of liked. It was tricky. It was just a tricky, weird thing to do. Anyway, that's what I got for today's video. I plan on doing like another video here, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, and I want to get into LCDs yet again. Some people are asking how do you work with LCDs and place them correctly and stuff, and I'll try to go over everything I know about LCDs and how I'm placing them in my little methods to make it a little bit easier. It's still LCDs. It's a buggy, tricky, weird setup. You can get around everything. You can get the job done. It's just it's kind of like a lot of working around the interface to be able to do it. And I do want to show some methods with that at least. I won't say there's a right and wrong way to anything, but yeah, just one of those things. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. I still don't have something ready really to show you. I've been working on something on the side a little bit, two things actually, but I wanted to wait a little bit longer before I show those. So they're not there quite yet. One of them is, but it's small and it has to do with someone else's creation and not my own. But it's very cool. It's very cool, and I will show that in a future video. So anyway, y'all have yourself a great day. Hope this gave you some insight. It's hard to explain. Again, it's strange stuff, but it is possible to literally build entire structures at a 45-degree angle and have them look kind of interesting in a lot of weird ways. And I don't know, maybe it could have some use. It's just good to know if you're into building a lot of stuff, just open up your ideas of what you could do with building and throw it into your mental database there. Anyway, y'all have yourself a great day. I will talk to you later.